let's go ahead and begin. One more thing here, and let's start out with standing. We're gonna, and if you need, it's raising, it's toe raises, and if you need to hold on to something, what a mess, huh? Let's strap, everything's out. Okay, if you need to hold on to a wall, you may do that, and the feet are together, and you're gonna raise and lower, raise and lower, raise and lower. So again, the heels are really coming up. There's a lot going on in this simple movement. Raise, try to hold, and come down. One, this is working your ankles so they either maintain their flexibility or they gain in flexibility if needed. Ankle flexibility, important for not shuffling feet. Ankle flexibility can save your shoes. I had a sister who shuffled, and my mother drove my mom nuts because she always had to, my sister wore out her shoes. Jeannie wore out her shoes all the time because she shuffled. So it will save your shoes, but also prevent you from tripping. Helps the immune system because it moves lymph fluid back up so it doesn't pull around the ankles. Helps to strengthen the calves. Again, good for walking, for your gait. And believe it or not, good for your squats. So let's come to a squat, and it might be that you modify for many reasons. It might be that you can come down. And the thing about squats is I always think, well, some can't go because of the knee compression. Some can't go because of maybe the hip doesn't allow you to go that way. But also, I was reading about squats, and one of the reasons why some have trouble with squats is ankle flexibility. And so stretching, and you're stretching the foot, you're stretching the Achilles tendon and the calves. And lengthen your spine. Breathe in and exhale. And press your hands into the mat and come on up. Good. All right. So those are two, and then I'll just think of another kind of warm up from standing. Again, hang on to something if you like. And you're taking one leg over the other, and you're going to drop down. Your hands are in prayer, and you come up. So let's say balance is so bad, and you're like, oh, I need a chair, I need to hang on to something. You know, another idea is to use hiking poles, and you come down, and you come up. Golf clubs work. One golf club, one hiking pole. It's not as solid as a wall, which is good. It's not as solid as a chair, which is good because you have a little something to help you, but you have to do some of the work. So it helps to wean you away from a wall and helps you with balance. Okay. Woo! Let's do the other side. Flex. Make sure that your standing knee is pointing forward, not off to the side. Okay? And coming over, make sure top ankle is flexed. Hang on to something. You're like, where are my hiking poles? Where's that golf club? Okay. Hands are to the heart. Down and up. A broomstick works as well. But the best is that one hiking pole, one golf club. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Strengthening the legs. Strengthening the legs. Good. And up. And release. Good. So there's 3. And we're going to do 3 forward folds. So and those are really important for you. You might say, well, my knees don't like that. This is actually really good. Here's another thing I'm learning. For the knees, I've always known strong quads help your knees. Well, guess what else? Strong hamstrings and strong glutes. So bridge pose, super important for the knees. All right, so have your feet wide. Come to the first forward fold. Look, I'm bending my knees. I'm coming forward. And then maybe I'll straighten. I'm going to take hands to elbows and stretch the back. Release the back of your neck. And breathe. Spine is long. Mm-hmm. Some of you like to straighten the legs, that's fine, just don't lock out. And then hands onto the thighs, press on up. And after each one, we'll clasp hands, stretch across the front chest, look up and breathe. And then this time we'll bring the feet closer in together, all the way together. Bend your knees, lower, and then start to take your arms away from your back and continue to relax. Stretch, breathing in, and exhale. Release the arms. Let your arms hang, or perhaps your hands are to the mat or to a block. Soften the knees, hands onto the thighs, and press on up. Clasp hands behind the back again, roll the shoulders back, and look up. I think for the next one, blocks come in handy. Set them up, you might not need them. So it's the IT band, so the blocks are for your hands, and then what you'll do is take your right foot in front of the other. Make sure your feet are very close together so the outer edges touch as much as they can. And you'll notice balance is a little different here, right? You're going to reach your arms up, palms touch up overhead, lengthen the front of your body. And then start to cascading forward, reaching for your blocks. And once you reach for your blocks, lower your head even more. So it's the back leg that gets the most stretch, your left leg. So what you're going to do is elongate your back and walk. If your blocks are at 12 o'clock position, you're going to go 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and your pelvis is jutting over to the left, and the left side of your left leg, I could say the outside leg, IT band, stretching. Breathe in. Exhale. And back to center. And reach the arms up. Palms touch. Hands are to heart. And then we reverse. Left leg in front of the other. So it's your back leg, your right leg, that gets the greatest stretch. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Reaching for blocks. And maybe the blocks are too high. Maybe you can go lower. See, and some of you don't need the blocks. Okay, see what is possible. So if your blocks are at 12 o'clock, you're going to go to 11, to 10, to 9 o'clock, and your pelvis will shift to the right and stretch the whole right side of your body. And breathe. And back to center, And then from here, swing the arms up, reach up high, palms touch, and hands are to heart center. Good work. And release. I like those. All right, and then we'll, so there's your 3. Let's go ahead and come right onto the backs. And as we come onto our backs, we're going to pull knees into chest, stretching your low back. Sun is on me again. Let's see, I can move up. Okay. And let's come to 3 arches. So the first one is we're coming to a bridge. Okay, so start out with your pelvic tilt. Let's do 3 of them. So your back presses down. Inhale, release. Exhale, press your lumbar into the mat. Inhale, arch. Exhale, press your lumbar down. All right. And then let's press feet into the mat and reach up. So again, this is the pose that strengthens the hamstrings. We stretch and we strengthen, right? And also strengthening the glutes, which in turn is really good for the knees. What we don't want is the knees to splay out. You want your thighs running parallel to each other, and then clasping your hands. Tuck shoulders underneath you. Lift your pelvis up and breathe. Deep breath in and exhale. And then we release, and the counter pose is to take hold of your feet, happy baby, and take a moment. Well, the light is in my face. Okay, sun's in my face. Okay, here we go. And go wide with the knees, breathing in. Exhale. From here, we're going to come to fish pose. And what you could do instead of fish, and I'm doing it without props, because the third one will be with a prop. But you could always roll something under your back. But I think most are okay doing this. We're not going to hold too long. So your arms are straight. You lift your pelvis. You're going to tuck the shoulders underneath you. Looks a lot like bridge. But then you lower, and your weight is probably on your forearms or your wrists. And then extend your legs one by one. And you have to be okay doing this because you're going to tilt your head back, you lift your upper body, and then you bring your head down. So let's say a goal is to bring the top of the head down. You go to where you can, and you're lifting your heart center, your elbows are pushing into the mat, feet are together, toes are pointed. Active legs, fish, Matsyasana. So it's supposed to be kind of like the silhouette of a fish. Breathing in. Exhale. Lift, lower, and free your arms. And once you're out, take your head side, 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 side. So now we roll over a block. And what I would say is if you already know that putting something under your back or upper back isn't good for you, you could always modify bringing a block under your sacrum and doing floating bridge. It's very nice. So I'm going to give you that choice, okay? You may say, well, maybe I'll start that way, okay? And then we have a block under the back. We have a block under the head, okay? And I don't know if I'll use that block under my head, but at least it'll be there, okay? So the block is the edge, the far edge closest to my head, or the edge closest to my head. Shoulder blades can hang off of it. I'm going to rest my head down. Shoulders hang back and breathe. And really open across the ribs. And maybe block under your head or no block. And breathe. Really nice open. Your face is relaxed. We're going to just be here, just a few more rounds of breath. So the easiest would be maybe elbows bent and hands on belly, arms out 45-degree angle, arms at a T. It gets a little more complex, right? Arms up overhead or hands to elbows. So see what is possible. I love this. I could do this all day. I don't though. So bend the knees. We're going to roll out slowly. Remove the block and come back onto your back. Good. Once you come onto your back, we'll pull knees into chest. This is your still point. Like you come to a pose, you could call it the counter pose. Not all counter poses are still points, but I just feel like it's a place where you're like, there's stillness. You go inside, you reconnect to quiet. And then go ahead and hug your right knee to chest, left leg extending, and breathe. And then hug left knee in, extend your right leg, and breathe. And hold your right foot half lotus, so my right knee is pointing off to the side, holding, bending at the elbows, using biceps for the pull. Relax your neck. And some can lift the head, bringing your head towards your foot, to your foot. Stretching, extending your leg, holding behind the knee. Flex and point, flex and point, and flex and point. And circle a few times in one direction, and circle in the opposite direction. And second side, hugging knee to chest, and then holding the foot, knee pointing to the side. Lifting your head, and breathe. Release and stretching your leg. You can hold behind the knee and flex and point, flex and point. Again, flex and point, and then circle and circle and circle and opposite circle and circle and circle. Good work, good work. Alrighty, so there's 3 core strengtheners we're going to do. Let's do this. So we'll do sort of like a rock and roll movement, and you'll just see how it goes. There's rock and roll, there's core strength, and then optional is plow. Okay. So starting out, you're sitting up and you're crossing your legs and coming forward. So once you come forward, you stretch the inner thighs, but also low back and outer hip. And take a moment. You know there'll be 3 rounds. And come up and reverse your leg crossing. And come forward again. And come up. So we're going back, and once you're on your back, your legs are up in the air. You've got your ankles crossed, your right ankle crossed over left. You can support your head by bringing your head up. I'm trying to get my shoulder blades up off the mat. And if you don't need head support, you're going to reach your arms up, and not holding, but reaching. Lower reverse the leg crossing. Breathe in. Exhale, lift. And lower. We're going to go wide, push out through the feet. Just go wide. It's like counter pose. You're just letting gravity help you here. And what we just did could be repeated, or you're coming towards plow. So maybe your plow is modified, or maybe you're able to come over quite a ways, the feet reaching down to the floor up overhead. Don't look at the screen if you're in plow. We'll come out, and we're going to roll up this time from sitting, the round 2 beginning. Soles of the feet are together, holding your feet and lowering. And breathe. Deep breath in and exhale. Lengthen, come back. So on this next one, we have what we call jatara. So your hands are at your sides. You lift your pelvis and you shift. Your legs can swing. You lift and you shift. Some can do that without the hands down. So your hands can move around and you go over. Okay, that's one way. The other is that your hands are underneath and you lower off the mat, over to the side. You come up, you shift, and your hands can help you as you lower, because you don't want your back to come up off the mat. And again, some can lift, shift, and your arms move opposite of your legs. Inhale, lift, shift, lower, hands come down. This is really a yoga pose. Okay. Now, you could continue doing that, or come to plow. Start out from the center, come up, and go towards plow. Only if your neck is okay with this, and your back. And breathe. It is a terrific stretch to the spine and the whole back of your body. Now we're going to come out, and then when you come out, roll on up to sitting. And this time we go wide, go really wide. And this is round 3. So you're coming forward, maybe you're staying a little more upright. Oh, maybe you can come down onto your elbows, pushing out through the heels, and breathe. Deep breath in and exhale. We're going to come upright and we'll add a twist. So let's say that we're turning to the right and you have opposite hand across leg. One hand is down, long spine, and look back. Push out through the heels. I can't believe we're going to see each other soon in person. Breathing in. Exhale. Now, the backhand will be either on your back or maybe reaching toward your right hand, reaching for your left thigh. That's it, Willow. She's like, what? Yeah, and it's surprising. When you wrap and you touch your thigh, like, is that my thigh? Okay, release. That's a lot of shoulder opener, really. And you're going to go the other way. So you're going left, right hand across left knee. Left hand can help support you, can help you to twist. And maybe you're going to reach left hand, right thigh, and breathe. finally release. Yeah. All right, so the third of the core strength. Okay, so it's funny because there's going to be poses you love, there's going to be poses that you don't, and but it's good to be strong as that. So I'm going to show the first part of it, right? The first part doesn't involve the legs, so this is a practice part. So right hand is down, left arm is up overhead. You're going to take a breath in. Exhale, lift your head first, use your right elbow to help you pull up, and you reach. You might even extend all the way over, okay, and down. Exhale, across. I'm staying on my elbow. And down. Let's do 2 in the opposite direction. Left hand is down, right arm is up. Left elbow is going to stay down. Breathe in. Exhale, push and come across. So your right hand is reaching across and come down. Breath in, exhale, press. It's okay to use your elbow to help you come up. It's across and down. Okay, so now what happens is we're going to be lifting the right leg and the left arm, okay, opposites. So breathe in. Exhale, use your right elbow, come across and down. Deep breath in, exhale, across. So it's not about holding, it's more like reaching and down. Do the other side. Exchange the arms. Breathe in. Exhale, right elbow up, right hand up, reaching for left leg, and you're using your left elbow to lift and come back. One more. Breathe in. Exhale, up. Because it's yoga, the coming down is slow. Of course, you can repeat those or coming into plow, all right? I know plow doesn't work for everybody. And so you're lifting, reaching, and not looking at the screen as you take your feet up overhead. Tuck shoulders underneath you. Your hands could hold your back, or your hands are touching the mat. Arms extended or hands clasped. And breathe. And then lower. And once you lower, pull knees right into chest, stretching your low back. And come on up. You survived that. Okay, so let's we're going to come to child's pose. So we have another still point. So from child's pose, bring your hands forward, pelvis back, lower your head, stretch your back. From here, let's go ahead and come to downward facing dog, curling toes under, shifting on back, and just take a moment to stretch. You could pedal, bend one knee, press opposite heel down, back and forth. And then we're going to come to plank. So once you come to plank, your hands are spread wide, and you're breathing. And this is about strength. You can have your feet a little wider apart. You can bring your hands a little closer in because there's another core strength. You're going to bring your right hand to your left shoulder, the left side chest, and down. Left hand, right shoulder, and down. Try not to shift too much. Right hand, left shoulder, and left hand, right shoulder, knees down, press back, child's pose, and breathe. We're going to come back, but this time it's from the elbows. So elbows are down, and you bring your pelvis up in the air, dolphin, and breathe. So all of these, a lot of these are upper body strengtheners as well, which is so important. Really important to have upper body strength. Yep. And then walking your feet back, and there you are in plank. Breathing in. Exhale. We're going to lower. I think the blanket's in a weird spot. It's not under my pelvis, it's under my legs. So you could shift down a little bit so that the blanket covers your pelvis. And then you don't have that extra arch in the lumbar. Elbows are directly underneath shoulders, palms are down, and breathe. Deep breath in and exhale. And then from here, lower. Hook your thumbs together behind the back and lift. Reverse the hook and lift. And hands alongside chest. Press up, cobra, thighs are grounded. And then knees onto the blanket as you come back to your still point. Press back, lower your head, and breathe. One more in this category, one more round. And so I just want you to see there's going to be a side plank. And I'm going to do from the hand. Some of you might want to do from your elbows. So downward facing dog, pressing back. I guess I like from the hands, just that if you need to modify, it's easier. You can drop one knee down. I drop the left knee down and bring the arm up, and you could float one leg up. Or you could have your legs extended, feet side by side or feet stacked. We're going to do the other side. Come across, modify by bringing one knee down or scissoring the feet, and breathe. Good. Release and still point. Knees are down, hands are back by the heels. Lower your head and breathe. And then we're going to make our way up to standing. So once we come up to standing, I think you won't need the blanket for a moment. And we have side bends now, 3 side bends. Okay. So right leg in front of the other. Grab hold of your right wrist and stretch the right side of your body. And breathe. Release. I'm going to do the other side. Left leg in front of the other. Take hold of your left wrist. Take a breath in. There's some balance involved, isn't there, when you switch your legs up like this, when you have your legs crossed. And side bend. Deep breath in and exhale. And release and come down. All right. Then from here, we're going to go to triangle. So you go wide, and the left foot can lead the way, but make sure your back heel is pointing to the back end of your mat. your legs are in one line, one line, okay? And you extend, breathe in. You're going to shift. Sometimes it helps just to know that you're shifting from the pelvis. Hands could be on the pelvis, or you're shifting, and then one arm down and one arm up, and breathe. So it's definitely expansive. It's a big, expansive pose, like you're expanding your ribs, expanding your lungs. And come out. We'll do the still point after, second side. So your right foot turns out. Your back heel points to the new back end of the mat. Pelvis is facing, like my pelvis facing the screen. Of course, you can go over tipping with the hands on pelvis, or you shift and bring one hand down, one arm up in the air. Arms make one long vertical line. And breathe. Itchy shoulder. Okay. Let's take another breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And come on up. Good. Good. So the counter pose is feet are squared and you're going to come forward. So use your blocks if you like. You can use your blocks if you like on this, or hands come down. Some like to reach for blocks, some have the hands down. So I want as if you're against a wall, heel, glutes against the wall. Your arms will walk forward, but your whole body's not coming forward. You're shifting back. It's very different from downward facing dog. There's no weight on your hands. Your feet are wide. You'll get a stretch to the inner thigh as well as probably hamstrings. Breathing in. And exhale. Walking the hands in, hands onto the thighs. Come on up. Good. Swinging the arms up. And then hands are to heart, and we'll walk the feet together. So you're at your still point. Here's your still point. Breathing in. Exhale. Last of the side bends, extended side angle. Go wide, wider yet, wider than triangle. Left foot turns out. You're going to bend your left knee, extending the arms, strong through the arms, and then it could be elbow to knee, that's easier, or reaching for your ankle, left hand to ankle, and extending the right arm up overhead. A wonderful side bend movement. We're going to retract the arm, come on up. Good. And we have second side, and again, we'll do our still point later. Turning your right foot out. Now you know the stance you need. Bending the knee, extending the arms. Breathe in. Exhale over, elbow to knee, top arm up over ear, or reaching for your ankle. And stretching your side ribs, and breathe. Go ahead and come on out, press on up, good work, and then we'll bring the feet together. So we have a squat, and then we'll have our mountain as our still point. So we drop down. So you might say, yep, that's where I go. Maybe you can drop down more. Take a moment here, breathing in. Exhale. For some, this might feel like a still point. Going to press up. I use my hands to help me press up. And then the feet are together, hands are to heart center, closing the eyes for a moment, finding the still point. So we say mountain. Some traditions of yoga call this samaskiti, and that means stilling the bones. It's a beautiful image, isn't it? Still your bones, still your mind. Okay, so we have twists, okay? I think the first one that we'll do is this one where we have our blocks handy. So you're going to go wide and you'd have your blocks. I'm going to go this way. So I think it's best if you have your feet on sticky mat. But anyways, you're going to go wide and you decide how high you want your blocks, okay? So you're sending your sitting bones back and you're lowering your head. Your blocks and your hands are as far forward as they can be. And then we're going to take the left hand to the outside right leg or ankle and breathe. And then we have the other side. Left hand on the block, right hand comes across and reaches for the left ankle. Sitting bones back and breathe. And then release. Take the blocks a little closer in. Stretch out your back. And then bring your hands onto your low back. And come to your still point. Still the bones. Feet are together. And hands are to heart center. Breathing in. Exhale. Right foot is forward. It'll be a twist again. So you will start out, maybe your hands are on the blocks, and you're stretching the left hip flexor. Hands could be down, but if you have your blocks, you could be a little more upright with your spine. And breathe. And then we'll reverse. Take left foot forward, right foot back. I'm just preparing for the twist. And stretch your back leg, breathing in. Exhale. Good hip flexor stretch. Let's reverse. Again, right foot forward, left foot back. This time, I'm going to put my blocks down a little more for stability. It's really the left hand on the block that's going to help me, and you're taking the right arm up and twisting. Right knee, you want a 90-degree bend, if possible, 90-degree bend on the knee. Knee stacked over the line of the ankle, and breathe. And the other side. So we switch. Right hand on the block, left arm comes up. Move from your spine and breathe. and then release. And from here, we're going to bring the knees down. We have one more, but we're going to just come to child's pose with you might need something under your knees. Your hands are on the blocks, and you're lowering your head, so your arms are elevated a little bit by the block. Let's come to sitting, and the twist goes like so. It could be that this is the third of the twist. So it could be that you draw your right leg over the other. Or maybe you can bend this lower leg. Okay? So left arm, it's your right leg on top. So left arm is up. Reach up. Inhale. And exhale. Elbow across knee and twist. Look back. With the warmer weather, you are definitely we're all going to be more flexible, for sure. And then release. Now, the same leg, you're going to bring your left leg to the floor. Your right leg is crossed over. Right ankle is flexed. We're stretching the right outer hip. If you're tight, your leg's going to be way out, away from the glutes. If you're more open, you can bring your buttock to your heel. Yep. And breathe. Lower your head towards your shin bone. And then release, and we have a second side. So we'll start out, I'll turn around. Remember the twist, do the variation you did on side one. Left knee is on top, right arm is up. Inhale. Exhale. Hand or elbow across knee, and look back. Think about the nose being the center line, the center of your face. And when you turn, you want the center of your face to look back. So you're trying to get your nose to look to the wall. Okay, we're going to come out. And then bringing your right foot is on the floor, left knee is bent, but left ankle is flexed. That's really important. And maybe if you're tight, you're way out. Your heel can't come any closer in, but some of you can draw heel to buttock. And for me, that puts a lot of stress on my hands because I'm like having to push myself forward. But yeah, hopefully you're okay with that. And maybe even lowering your head towards your shin bone. And breathe. Good. And finally release and stretch it out. Good. So we are, how much time do we have? So let's take our legs up in the air. And if you have a wall handy and you can do that, even stay there the whole time in Shavasana, that's really nice to do in hot weather, okay? And if you can, I would say maybe block under sacrum and then making a little strap. You don't want it too tight, but you don't want it loose. So I'm bringing it to my shin bones. And it's not too tight, it's not uncomfortable, okay? And your feet are together. And just take a moment here to breathe. I'm going to be here about a minute. I realize it's a little tight. Okay, oh, much better. I told you not to do it tight, but I did. And let's be here another half a minute. Feet are together, but relaxed, not pointed, not flexed. Last 5 seconds. And then undo the loop. Bring your feet down, remove the block. And just to gradually extend the legs one by one. They can go wide, they can be wider than your mat. Palms facing up. Some really like to have a bolster under the knees. That's very nice as well. And just take time to relax your body. So this session has been dedicated to remembering who you are. Remembering who you are. Remembering your values. Remembering your ideals. Never letting go of them. Remembering your still point. And here you are. You're in your still point. And anything can happen. Everything opens up to you in your still point. What opens up to you? Inner peace, inner calm. Your still point is the place where you can fully relax, where you can fully de-stress. Your still point is where you can feel and reclaim. You can feel healthy and reclaim your fullest expression of health. Your still point is your point of sanity. Your still point is where you can touch and feel and sense your inner beauty. I could go so far as say your still point is your sacred place. Your still point is your sacred place. And begin to deepen your breathing. Begin to move your hands and feet. And when you are ready, roll to one side and make your way to sitting.